When it comes to fatalities on our street, commercial vehicles like cement trucks, big rigs, they've been involved in 7 of 27 pedestrian fatalities alone already this year. Today, Mayor John Tory had a meeting with some construction companies as well as city councillors, even Toronto police, to try and look at curbing the recent rash of deaths. Earlier this month, we saw one woman killed by a cement truck near Yonge and Eglinton. Now, while today's meeting was important, it was even called critical by the mayor. Some critics also say that bureaucracy is putting Torontonians' lives at risk.
So we need to see some quick interventions on the ground as quickly as possible.
Instead, what are we getting?
A lot of crocodile tears and lip service.
Jessica Speaker with Friends and Families for Safe Streets believes there's one big thing standing in the way of saving the lives of citizens walking and cycling the streets of Toronto: political will.
It seems to require somebody to die to get an intervention done quickly, and that shouldn't be the case. We should be proactive. We know what to do, we know it works, we have no shortage of examples from around the world to draw upon, and yet not much seems to be happening in Toronto in the last 3 years.
Back in 2017, the City of Toronto launched Vision Zero. The mayor has admitted it didn't go far enough. Recently, council voted unanimously for Vision Zero 2.0. While it's a step in the right direction, Jessica Speaker says it has glaring flaws.
Scarborough, they're looking at dropping speeds on arterials to 50 kilometers an hour from 60 kilometers an hour. But that's only going from guaranteed death to an 85% chance of death. And last we checked, it's not Vision 85% of struck pedestrians are dead. It's Vision Zero death.
This week in Scarborough, a teenager was struck and killed by a vehicle on the very same street where a crosswalk was requested way back in 2014.
It was taking too long before, and we're trying to make sure it happens much more quickly now, and that there is more liberal, if I can call it that, more liberal criteria to have these things installed in the interest of safety.
Though Speaker adds that there's other quick steps that could be put in place, like bollards, planters, and reducing the size of vehicle lanes. She believes all could create a safer streetscape. What would you say to critics who say bureaucracy here in Toronto has cost us lives?
If they saw the list that I was brandishing with me yesterday in a file of the number of projects that are happening right now where there is paint and bollards and reconstruction of intersections and redesign of streets, we're almost doing as much as we could do in the context of the availability of people to do the work.
New York City has rolled out their own Vision Zero. In the short term, it's experienced much more success than Toronto's quest to have zero fatalities on our roads.
They had a mayor who wholeheartedly believed in it and was willing to tolerate political blowback in order to save people's lives. When there was a fatality, they would look at that the infrastructure that induced the fatality, that induced the dangerous driving behavior, that didn't protect the vulnerable, and they would fix it. Here, we wait for a death, we study it endlessly, we have suburban councillors who vote for more study, which delays it even longer, and then maybe in several years we'll get an intervention.
And when it comes to today's big meeting at City Hall over recent deaths involving commercial vehicles, construction vehicles, the mayor admitted that the city has no idea what type of training levels cement truck drivers, dump truck drivers have when it comes to navigating busy downtown streets and around construction zones. The city has given companies 2 weeks to notify them of the current training they're providing for their drivers.